Working with Jose is great. You know, this isn't the first show we've worked on together, so we kind of know how to work with each other. And at the beginning of, when he actually told me about this job, we were sitting at lunch and he was saying, you know, the next show that I'm being offered is Transformers. What do you think? And I said, you don't draw robots. We both don't draw robots. So how are we going to do this? But
that's a secret.
But obviously we went and it turned out great and it's been fun.
That was a really good first answer. Congratulations. It's also Kirk's first panel, right?
No.
Oh, so sorry.
First one with us. With you.
Kirk's a diva. Yeah. Which is why he works on the other side of the country. You are actually one of the lead storyboard artists, but you're here in New York. Everyone else is in LA. How does that whole process work?
Great. I don't have to get up. I don't have to see you in the morning. I work on time. I stumble out of bed in my underwear and a hat and just start working. It's wear a hat to bed. Well, you know, people can see me out my window from about here up, so you're just kind of streetwise. It's actually been a little tough because I am used to working really tight with these guys in studio in Los Angeles, and it's an incredible joy, and you get so much energy working in studio. That said, it's been easy to work on this show because it's an incredible show, and you know, I don't know what's going to happen week to week. I get a script, I don't know where we're going, and I freak out and I start, you know, calling back in, calling my director and saying, "Oh my God, really? We're going to do this? That's awesome!" You know, like this whole ending of this season blew my mind that we would do. I still don't know what we're doing. And that's why we love Kirk. Yeah. But it's interesting. Thank God for the digital age, because I can just work from home, send my stuff back and forth, and we can share back and forth. And of course, knowing that it's all going to go to Polygon, it makes me really happy, because I know that the hard work that I'm putting in is just going to come out 10 times better, right? In all of us.
So before we open it up to some questions from these guys, I think that what everyone's going to ask, and so let's just get in front of it, let's talk about it. What can you tell us about what's coming up? Optimus and Megatron, buddies, go off together. What's next? What can you tell us?
As much as I hate to spoil things, we got to give you something to be excited about. The epic 4-part season finale that hopefully everybody's seen is really just sort of an appetizer for the epic entirety of the next season, season 2. Obviously, we're going to follow through with the story of Optimus sort of riding with the Decepticons, and as we always try to do, we try to satisfy but yet take it in unexpected directions. And I just have to say that what happens is, I think, will be pretty unexpected, yet completely organic. We, at some point in season 2, big spoiler, will be leaving Earth. We will also be meeting new Autobots in season 2.
Yeah.
And new Decepticons. We could probably tease one of them.
You might see, how about this? You could say you might see some robots that don't necessarily turn into vehicles.
Ooh. Okay.
It's really often, actually ask him to say stuff and then I tell him what he can't say. So it's like, I'm just mean.
Yeah, well, I thought that was one we agreed on, but Wheeljack will return.
Yes.
And what else we got? Oh, yeah. And you know, someone else will return, but in what we think is a super compelling way. I think we all know who we're talking about, and that character's arc, as in season 1, is like just so astonishingly cool this season. It gives me the chills. Starscream. Who, on that note, just a shout out to our amazing cast.
Yes.
Steve on the Starscream just is. He's Steve on the Starscream. It's you know, Somali, Tanya as Miko, Jerry Combs as Ratchet, like, just kills me.
Frank and Peter together.
Frank and Peter, the anchors, yeah. Tim Michaelson as Bulkhead, and Josh Keaton as Jack, and Andy Basoa as Raph, who almost bit it this season, but he's strong. He's small, but he's strong. Yes.
Although the actor's voice is changing, so we're not sure how much longer.
Raph is definitely hitting some puberty.
Big spoiler, Raph will have a beard in season 2.
All right, so what about you guys? You guys have questions for these guys? Why don't we stand up at the mic back here so we can get through questions?
Good seating.
All right.
So, I've watched more Transformers than a man my age probably should have.
There's no such thing. Transformers.
But watching Prime, especially the last few episodes, you've actually given the character of Optimus Prime more personality. It's probably shown on the screen in the last 30 years of his character. Did you guys actually set out to actually develop Prime as a character, or just sort of happen that, hey, this guy that's leading, he might have a brain?
Thank you, first of all. And yeah, no, we definitely wanted to make a more rounded character. In television, at least, it's awfully hard to have just a one-dimensional character and make it interesting for long-term. As Dwayne said, when we initially sat down and started plotting this, we actually plotted 3 seasons. You burn through story faster, you never get that far with the story you've worked out, and there's no way for us to know how long we're going to get to go. But we plot out 3 seasons, and so to keep Optimus and all the characters interesting, we really felt like they had to have multiple sides of their personalities. That was always an intention.
Yeah, I would. But that said, it's interesting because a lot of people feel that Optimus is one-dimensional, and to us, the role model was like, he's King Arthur. He is the guy who. And keep in mind too, there's a history now. We're playing a series as if there's a lot of invisible backstory that we will be unfolding more of in season 2. But his spectrum of emotion isn't great, and that's why we saved it up for the season finale when he finally has that tears it moment, And I know a lot of fans were like, "Oh, finally!" But you know what? If we had done that in the beginning, never opened with a showstopper, it wouldn't have meant anything. We had to do the sort of slow build, so when we finally got to that point, it would be like, yeah. So.
Thanks.
Do that again. Do that again.
Yeah. Anyone like to do my legs?
I'll start. I got two. Actually, DC Comics Vigilante, which is actually leading into my question. Since you actually have members of the Firefly cast actually doing voices, is it possible that we might see Nathan Fillion voicing an Autobot or a Decepticon in the future?
Anything is possible.
One of the nice things about animated television, it seems, is you can get almost anybody to come in and do a voice. If their schedule allows it, if they're not overseas shooting something, it's a really nice gig for somebody who's maybe carrying their own series where they got to be on set 5 days a week or 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, 14, 16 hours a day. In our case, they get to come in one time, 4 hours in their sweatpants. We record radio play style where all the actors are in the room at the same time as opposed to one at a time. So it's this really kind of fun, convivial thing. So there's almost nobody that we ask to do a guest spot who doesn't say yes if their schedule allows. Nathan is definitely on our list. We have a lot of people on our list, but we never know how it's going to line up with timing, schedule, et cetera, et cetera.
And then I got a quick...
Yeah, and a lot of times what happens is, in the same way that we all have worked together on multiple shows, when it comes to cast, especially both guests and leads, you tend to go back to some people you've worked with before. Almost everybody in our cast is somebody that one of us has worked with before. I'd worked with Gina before, actually in live action on a busted pilot a few years back. Marky Post had done a pilot for me years ago. There's a lot of, once you find people you work well with and you have a shorthand with and who come through for you, you want to go back to those people, whatever part of the production happens.
And then I have a quick question about some bot things. Are we going to see some more new kinds of interesting weapons and abilities, and perhaps even upgrades on some of our favorite peoples?
You've been talking to Hasbro, haven't you?
Definitely some new weapons and new weapons and abilities and upgrades. Yeah.
Upgrades.
It's all coming. It may take a while to get there, but yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, partner.
All right, I've just got a couple of smaller questions. First, quick one. Was it intentional to put movie Starscream's head onto Prime Starscream's chest? Have you seen the comparisons?
No. Jose, what did you do?
Oh, you're getting riled up. Here he goes.
Uh-oh. Got him mad.
No. I thought it looked more like an elephant than movie star screams, but yeah. So, but if it makes you happy, then yes.
Play find the face.
Yeah. Throughout all the designs, I hid faces from other incarnations, so good to work in.
That was actually not the answer I expected. Another couple animation-related bits. The battle damage is amazing. What really got me was like, yeah, paint scuffs, it's kind of cool retexturing. But that damage on Megatron's bucket helmet in the finale during the fight with Optimus and its little ridges. What's the tech you use for that? Is it like some free-written thing, or are you just swapping models out?
Well, we have on our crew, Walter, this other guy, Augusto, who does a lot of the textures and damages on our bots. He's an amazing painter, and he gets to do a lot of that stuff that you're talking about. And also Polygon, a lot of the painters over there. I think our process is just through Photoshop. We do digital painting and stuff. We do a lot of photo referencing. And but I think the major credit has to be given, I think, to Polygon and their artists over there, because those guys, like Therese was saying, they are very passionate about what they're doing. And Dave Harmon had the idea of having Optimus wheels spin in Megatron's face.
Awesome.
It reminded me of the Armada finale, where he does a similar thing with his shoulder wheels.
Really? Yeah.
Or maybe I can't remember. The last thing I wanted to get out of there was why does Optimus not? Why don't they? Optimus's face looks really weird without a nose. I got really quickly used to it, but it's not like in animated where their helmets, where his helmet protruded low enough to fix it, like the other characters did. It just looks really smooth and makes him look younger than his character would suggest.
When we were designing, I think to me it was very important to try to make it feel a little bit alien. I think you do want to make a humanoid robot, but we were trying to, as we were designing, we were trying to think about, to me it was like on the other incarnations, it's like, to me it's just like, I don't know why they have noses, they don't breathe.
Well, yeah. The noses don't make sense, I'll grant you. But Optimus's face just looked really smooth. But I have to say, on that note, the eyebrows work really well, and I'm done.
So, the eyebrows, we try to we're taking away the nose, we're taking away certain parts, and other ones that I feel are going to be very important for the characters to emote, we try to exaggerate them a little bit.
I just want to key on one more thing that Jose is saying, which is for us, going into the beginning, one of the things we felt like the brand may have lost a little bit of over the course of all these years of iterations is the wonder of, oh my God, there's huge aliens living on our planet. And they are, so we really wanted to, as Jose said, make them a little more alien looking, so we could play to that wonder again, that idea that these kids are seeing something amazing, and that there's also a little bit of a scary element, but this is an element you can't predict necessarily.
Yeah, going back to talking about sound wave, we talked about, his face being screaming. Since he was going to talk and he has no expression, that he was going to play back voice tracks or videos in his face. That it's an element to me that was very cool, to make the characters feel like they're from another planet and not Earth.
Well, and I think it's kind of important. Our show's really about character first. It's not just about giant robots. It's about the interactions of all these different people thrown into this situation. And I think one of the hard things that the movies have had to do is they've got these incredible tech-looking robots, but they're just 2-hour situations. There's 3 of them, they're 2 hours long. We're carrying this over seasons, and you just can't look at those faces and really feel concern or interest in those eyes when there's like Bumblebee. I love the way they look in the movies, but it's a little creepy, and I don't think that you could really find the passion in the eyes the way you can like RC. There's sometimes that I literally am watching the show and I see it come out and I start getting all teary-eyed. And then I think, wow, this is really great acting that we're getting, not just boarding, not just writing, but the acting that the animation is coming through. And I'm not sure if